everyone, welcome back to another New World Dev video. I'm your host today, Tina, and Scott's going to be joining me to start off. We're going to go into quite a few things, including a deep dive on the summer release and some of the upcoming events.
Yeah, and we're going to try something new this month. We're going to go behind the scenes with some of the game developers and take a look at making the game. And we're going to do this with a few of our new features. We're really excited and we hope you like it.
All right, let's show a bit behind the curtain. Let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's see it.
All right, now that you guys experienced a bit of what we're going to talk about in the PTR, I wanted to bring the devs in responsible for it and pick their brains about it. Mike, you want us to tell us about your favorite little fair going on?
The summer Medleyfaire.
Yes,
a certain percentage of the population has already experienced or watched the video on. It's a celebration of music, food, and all things eternum. So it's a great place to gather around with other people, do some adventure, and do some fishing. Fishing's a big thing that happens during the Medleyfaire with these mystical sturgeon that have suddenly appeared during the summer months.
The eternum sturgeon.
The eternum sturgeon.
Rolls off the tongue.
If you will. But you get to participate in the, creating trophies and doing other types of events that we haven't really set.
Great memento stand that exudes greatness. Use it to create small mementos. Mount a catch station. Well, you had me on the first half. Yeah, I like that. Oh my God, there's a lot to this. Holy fucking shit.
Celebrated thus far, and it's a fun time. It's very vibrant. You get to dance.
I was gonna say, you gotta mention you get to cut a little rug on the dance floor for a bonus.
I think that the a lot of the New World, like the events and stuff, like the winter solstice event, I actually thought it was really good. What did you guys think? Did you guys like the winter solstice event? Yeah, it was really well done. I thought it was good.
Yes, every day. That's really cool.
I get to do the what do you call the?
Is that kind of like the Roger Rabbit?
All right, fine.
If you do it for 10 more minutes, we'll get it.
All right, so doing a little dancing.
It's a crazy amount of activities that you get to do to satisfy the maestro, and he's the one that leads the charge of this celebration in the summer months. And you get to play some music, get to do some fishing, and earn some awesome rewards.
Yeah, totally.
Cool.
Yeah, to me, it celebrates everything summer, right? You want to get outside, you want to listen to music, you want to have some fun. And
bro, like, that's not summer in Texas. Like, I said, fuck that. The last thing I want to do is go outside.
some of you fishing, because
Fuck
I
that.
love to fish, but maybe not everybody.
No, but at least in our fishing, you get to build your own little trophies. You get to catch really weird things.
I think that's one of the cool parts of the event is the mount a fish activity that you can do. So like almost anything you catch, you can turn into a trophy for your house. It's not gonna.
That's cool. I like that. That's smart. Yeah, I mean that's good that they're building more stuff out of the professions, because I feel like the professions are something that people have liked a lot in New World.
Have a utility, but you can deck out your house.
That's what I was going to ask. So like a decoration more.
Yeah, it's more of a decoration, but you could catch a boot and you can make that a trophy, or
mount your own boot.
You can mount your own boot.
That's funny.
Or a giant,
all the
tadpole. Everyone's,
Did y'all ever have those fish that like you click the button on it and it starts singing? Like they were really popular for like 3 months in 1999. Yeah, we had one too. Big mouth, Bill Bass, yeah, something like that.
Really wanting to show off that tadpole.
Yeah.
A very rare tadpole.
I was going to say, I actually struggle catching them, so.
I love the tadpole.
You would. All right. Well, I mean, now that we've very clearly gone over the fishing aspect, you mentioned instruments, so I'm going to throw that over to you.
Sure. Yeah, another big component of the Medleyfaire is the introduction of our instrument feature. And the music instrument feature, for those that haven't played it, it's a rhythm action kind of music game where we've got 5 instruments that we're introducing. We've got a mystical sounding Azov flute, a guitar, a mandolin, drums, and an upright bass.
Okay.
Bro, like after I just did Vicus, like this is the last thing I want to see. This is literally the last thing I want to fucking see. Oh no.
So when you can just pull that upright bass out of your pouch.
Magic backpack.
That's cool. I like that.
It's awesome.
You haven't experienced the tournament if you don't end up in the Fox Rock Cave and see someone playing the bass in the middle of there.
That's right. But I'm really excited for what that's going to do, bringing a lot of life.
So what does that do?
And just fun
song performance. Oh my god!
Of the world. I think it's going to be really cool.
I can't wait for people to like run around after me, like trying. Well, play in my band. Play in my band. Yeah, it's going to be so fucking annoying.
The music totally slaps. It's really exciting.
It impacts gameplay too, because depending on the pieces of music you play, your score.
Yeah. So as you know, every track you play, you get a performance rating, and the better you do in performing the song, a buff can be applied to you or anyone playing in your group.
Okay.
Also, players have the ability to tip performers, which makes it like kind of more of an official trade skill, right? And so if you tip, you also get the buff as well.
Well, I think it's important to mention, like we talked about playing solo, but you can also hook up with up to four or 5 people.
Up to 5 people, yeah.
And,
can you play different songs?
Yeah.
Each person.
I. Like, it's so ridiculous. I actually think it's kind of cool. Like, okay. Yeah, all right. It sounds great.
Yeah, so it's really cool.
The great sword died for this.
Over here loves the flute, so he just goes in like that.
Aqualung. It really depends on what track you pick, but some tracks are solo, some are duets, some are full group, full ensemble band, and so it's really
cool.
Like I'm really excited for it, and we've got a little over 30 tracks that we're releasing here, and so for players to
more than like 5.
Yes, exactly.
A few more
to go out and play, and then we'll be releasing more too.
Okay.
In
and do you
future
get them
releases.
all like at once, or do you have to like?
So you'll get
earn them?
you'll get a couple that are unlocked automatically, and you'll get a couple specific ones as part of the quest line for the Summer Medleyfaire. And then the rest are scattered out for people to discover and return them. But you can either you go and you look for musical.
That sounds cool. That's fine. Like I mean, like I'm gonna be honest. Like this is not really what like I'm not. So, like, I had to play a recorder whenever I was a kid in music class, and I broke it myself. And I told the music teacher that we were so poor we couldn't afford another recorder, which my mom could have bought me another one. But I made the music teacher feel sorry for me, and I never had to play in music class again. So those recorders are unbreakable. What the fuck? Not when you have a fucking I think it was like a garden hoe, and I put it in the dirt, and I put a garden hoe, and I fucking slammed that shit down there on it. I busted that bitch in half. Yeah, I snapped that shit like a twig. Yep.
Pages.
Okay.
And they'll drop from different locations in the world. And so when you get those, you can read them to learn them in your inventory, or you could also trade them on the trade post.
Oh, okay. So you can like collect the ones that you don't have.
Yeah, exactly.
And sell the ones that you get multiples of.
Yep.
All right, so we kind of went over the Summer Medleyfaire. There we go, nailed it. Let's go a bit into the theme of today, the Barnacles and Black Powder. And Mike, you want to take it away?
Oh, absolutely.
I feel like the next time that New World's really going to have a chance to show people like what they've been doing, I think that they're going to have that opportunity whenever they do like the Brimstone Sands, which is going to be like the new zone and like the Greatsword and everything. But until then, I don't think that really a lot of people are going to come back. I think that what they can hope for is that whenever they have like a big update, that people come back and they see everything that they've done before that update, and they stick around playing because of that. That's what I think it is. That's a best case scenario in my mind.
Absolutely. So Barnacles and Black Powder is a brand new endgame expedition. Entrance is down in Cutlass Keys, which is pretty much pirate territory. So brand new endgame for players to explore. Has repeatable quests.
That's cool.
Has quests that you can acquire right outside as well. And
Great.
It's about Admiral Black Powder, and
it's like I feel like they need to have like new models for a lot of these areas, because it's kind of like the New World, in my opinion. I think like Tempest Heart, which is the new dungeon that they did, I think visually it's probably one of the best dungeons I've ever done in any game. Like, it just looks really cool. Straight up, the dungeon looks really fucking cool. Like, it's badass. But the problem is, like, it's like you buy a $10 million mansion and you put furniture in it from Goodwill. So it's like you put all of this effort into the dungeon, and then you get into the dungeon and you're still fighting the same pirates that you did whenever you were level 5. That's a problem, man. Needs mob variety. Yeah, it does.
His cursed treasure, and also as you go on this journey, you're going to find out, just like on most things in a
all this is
they're
cool.
not what they appear to be. There's another big bad waiting for you lurking
Surprise!
below. Surprise! So, bunch of new mechanics and traps. It's a fun Goonies-like experience.
Oh, I
Pro
like
tip,
that.
if you see these in the world, you might need them.
Potentially. There's a lot of black powder.
A lot of black
A lot
powder.
of black powder.
All right.
Stay away from that cursed treasure, though.
You know-
It's a really cool mechanic.
It's a fun expedition too. Like we've been playing it a lot internally, and it's different than our other ones. There's definitely different gameplay mechanics in there.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's a really good thing. Because, like, a lot of the New World gameplay is, like, for an average player, is you just round up the mobs, you hit the mob until the mob's dead, and that's it, right? There's, like, not really a lot to it. So Asmongold Zachar, I'm doing a reaction to this on my second channel because I know that the viewers on my main channel don't want to watch a 1-hour video about New World, but I figure if you're dumb enough to watch my second stream and you're actually that goddamn bored, you're not going to complain about a New World dev update video. That's the truth. And like, we just upload it to YouTube, might as well have something, you know?
We're going to dive into it a little bit later, but there's some brand new mechanics with not just the environment, but with our bosses as well.
Okay, that's great. People always like the challenge of things being switched up, you know?
I agree with that. I think that the best dungeon in New World, like in terms of the gameplay, is actually Starstone Expedition. The way that you have to jump over and like through and underneath the laser beams, I think that's so cool. Like, it's actually like a really, really cool looking dungeon. Like, visually and like in terms of like what a player does.
Oh, you have to actually learn the fight as opposed to just running in, killing, and leaving. So,
Well,
Group
His
Finder.
name is Chomper.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
say. Like, I'm gonna need friends. Hello. So let's go over the Group Finder.
So let's go over the fact that y'all need to combine servers and stop letting people play on a fucking server with 300 people on it. Like, it's a bad experience. Why the fuck would anybody want to play on a server with 300 people? Like, what are you thinking? What the fuck? What are you fucking thinking? Stop it. Like, just put the servers and combine them. Oh, it's a little bit laggy? That's better than it being dead. Like, there should be like one server. Just do that. Servers have no, in my opinion, I think servers make the game worse. They're just a technological limitation. Yeah, it's Battle Royale. Yeah, it's like in some servers, there's more people in a Fortnite lobby. Come on.
Want to go over that, Scott?
Well, sure. I mean, along with
All right, you know.
well, Scott, Mike, whoever, either one of us
Scott,
can
Mike,
take this.
server, yeah.
Everyone.
No, it's cool, but it's along with another expedition coming in. We want to give people a way to connect easier to get in the expeditions, you know, and Group Finder is a great way at that. It's kind
I
of.
really wish they had done that whenever the game came out. It's like, yeah, like people said that like you needed a group finder or something like that. Like you don't need like an LFD like WoW has, but you need a group finder where you can just go and like you can list your group and people can join, etc. Right? I think that's a good thing.
Like a billboard where you can sign up, look for people with similar interests who want to have the same goals, and quickly match with them and get you into that content as fast as possible, because that's really your goal as a player,
Right.
right? You want to just get in the game, get in there, and have some fun. So
Yeah.
this should connect people and make it a lot easier.
Okay, great. And is that just connecting people in like one server, or how does that work?
Yeah, today it's server only.
Okay.
Going forward in the future, at some point, we'll definitely looking at expanding that, but right now
That's fine. Make it server only, but make there only one server. Sounds good. Yep. That's all right. No, it's server specific. Sounds good. Put everybody on the same server. Yeah, I mean, like they've already proven that they can do this.
is all in the same world.
Okay, that's great to know.
And players can select into like what role they want to partake in. Like if you want to go DPS or you want to tank or you want to heal.
That's
you can
smart.
also request what you need to fill out your party in order to do it, and specific expeditions, gear score range. You can even leave comments in like, hey, we're super casual, we're just looking to have fun or do whatever.
That's smart.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know.
It's like Final Fantasy has that, like people that are like prog versus clear.
Because there can be some really strict, straightforward groups and some like, goofy, silly, let's all be healers and do it and see if we can do it challenge. So,
No.
All right. So, the last thing I kind of want to touch on is like quality of life changes. I know you had a hand in that.
No
Do you wanna
healers.
go over some of that?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more of just improving the overall quality of loot versus quality of life, I think is how I would maybe reframe it a little bit.
Incel take.
A couple things to chat about. One is we're introducing, I mentioned this in our June video, but we're introducing perfect salvage. And that's a way to give you just more value for all the loot that you collect in the game. And just a quick
Is that
refresher,
like disenchanting legendaries?
anything you salvage has a chance to trigger a perfect salvage, and that perfect salvage is going to give you really cool materials that you can do to like, give yourself bumps in trade skill experience or craft a different high value item, things like that. And so overall, the salvaging process and collecting loot should be a lot more valuable to players.
I can tell you, I already know anyone who.
That's good. I think that's a smart thing because like salvaging items, like there's no real value to it. The truth is that like salvaging was balanced around having to, repair all of your gear that got broken in your inventory as long as your character. And now that they've made it to where you only have to repair your character's armor, which is how it always should have been, by the way. But it's only for repairing, exactly. So like there's no other real reason why you're going to use salvage pieces anyway. So yeah, I think this is a good thing.
Who's played on the PTR is now saving all of their purples and oranges in live and waiting for this feature. So that's going to be a lot of salvaging happening when this comes
I think
out.
there's going to be a lot of fun inventory things happening, yes, when this release goes out. But that's
what
great.
I did.
I hope people really enjoy it because, also if you've got keys, I'll just mention again, left in your inventory, they're going to transform into special chests that'll give you boss rolls.
Why is that, Phil?
What?
Why is that, Phil?
Oh, because we're removing dungeon keys. Yeah.
Hold on. Phil owes me $1. And we're updating Expedition Orbs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Expedition Orbs.
It's $2
Wasn't me
because he
this
says
time.
dungeon and key.
And he said Dungeon and Key.
Yes.
So it's $2.
Owes me lunch.
For $1, where do you go to McDonald's? Like you can't even get a McDouble for $1 anymore. That shit's like $2. Yeah, it's like, yeah, is a Costco hot dog? Yeah, there you go. You get that. I think that's good. Getting rid of the dungeon keys is a good thing. I'm glad that they did that. I hope that they continue doing things like this.
$1 lunch.
It's something people have wanted ever since
Expedition
beta.
Orbs.
Expedition Orbs, right? We've removed those, and so now it's free to enter the dungeons, and there are daily and weekly limits for that. All mentioned in the June video, but also will be detailed in our patch notes. And
I hope that the daily and weekly limits don't turn into being restrictive. Like, I don't think it's one of those things where you can just say all daily and weekly limits are bad or all daily and weekly limits are good. It depends on how they're implemented. So we'll have to see what happens.
A couple changes that we're making because of the feedback we received on PTR that I want to call out too. And also just thank you very much for all of your feedback that you provide to us, especially when we ask for it specifically in the PTR. But one is an experimental change that we were testing on the PTR, which was a +5 bonus for dual attribute items, where the dual stats could give you a +5 more than a single stat item would. So like a strength int item would give you a +5 more than potentially at gear score 600, than just a pure strength one.
Why? Do you guys know why they did that? Weird option? Yeah. To encourage dual builds. They're not going through with that. Okay. Split stats were useless beforehand. They're tuning the 50-point rewards on talents. Yeah, I feel like the main 50-point reward that's good is the dexterity one.
So we heard the feedback from the community pretty loud and clear. I think this is something that we want to refine a lot more and think about a little bit more. Make sure it's not going to impact crafters and timeless shards, right? Yeah. Also, we just want to make sure we're doing it right. So for the July release, we're not going to be shipping the +5 dual stat stuff. We are going to reduce the overall frequency that dual stat items do drop in the world, though, so that players get more valuable loot when they do get drops.
Right.
But they will still get dual stats. It's not completely going away. And then, we're just going to reevaluate that change.
That's great. That's huge, honestly.
I think this is a great example of the community helping, with the feature. It's something that, long term, we still think there's something behind the idea, the concept. But I think it's more about when you roll it out and what you release it with, where it makes the most sense. And just to reiterate what Phil said, thank you all for the feedback. It really helped guide this decision.
Yeah. And then one other thing to note that we are changing from the PTR as well. Right now in the PTR, there is an 80% gold earned nerf from expeditions. And safe, not going for $3. But we heard your feedback on that as well. I think the initial nerf on that was way too conservative, and so we are pulling that back. It's only going to be 50% of what it is currently on live.
So they're nerfing expedition gold rewards because everybody can run them without keys. So they're worried about gold inflation. Is that basically? Is that where we're at? I think that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Sure. That makes sense. That's smart.
Opportunity for players to run expeditions a lot more freely now.
Okay.
So that's only going to be down 50%. And then I do want to call out, we are adding 1,000K bonus gold that players can earn by either completing Darkness of Breaches or opening elite chests. So other activities too are going to get juiced up with some more gold too.
I wish that they would unnerf the chest runs. Take all the mobs, there's no reason 75 snipers have to be guarding an elite chest in the fucking mines. 1,000K? No, he's probably talking about 1,000 gold. Or 1K gold, yeah. Chest runs are kind of boring. I actually thought it was really fun to solo the chest runs. I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed it.
All right, great. I like gold. Buy more furniture.
Any other perk changes coming?
And fundamentally, it was something that I did, and whenever they made the change, I stopped doing it. So the change caused me to play the game less.
We are just reevaluating all of the perk changes. I mean, we touched almost every perk, but with the feedback that we are getting, we're making minor polish and tuning tweaks on those as we play with it more and then get more feedback. Yeah.
All right. I mean, you guys heard it here. Feedback, feedback, feedback. It is absolutely listened to. We collect it constantly on the forums, Reddit, everywhere, the Discord.
Yeah.
So if you guys have suggestions and thoughts, let us know. Just know, with the expedition orbs, sometimes it does take a little bit longer for changes to come into effect. But we are absolutely listening and taking things very seriously. So I guess that wraps it up, guys. Let's move on to the next segment.
Cool. That's fine. Upcoming events. This is what matters.
Hey gamers, we're going to talk next about some of the upcoming events between going to actually conventions and in-game. So we're going to start off with Greg today, and we're going to dive right into the TwitchCon EU. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, no, happy to be back at the table. This is a fun return to form, so I'm pretty stoked.
I know,
about
I
that.
just dove right in. I'm like, tell me everything.
Well, it's going to be really cool. So it's the
I have
European
that hat.
TwitchCon, right? There's going to be one in Amsterdam, one in San Diego. And what we're going to do, we're going to take New World there. We have a space in the LAN area where we're going to host a PvP
No, you don't.
tournament.
Wait, do you really think that I lied about the hat? So, they sent me this box, and it was in the box, but there's nothing in the box. I don't know where that. Look, I have the hat. I do. I really do. I don't know where the hat went. Yeah. Yeah, sure. No, I can't find a hat. That's all. I thought I knew where it was. Please, you have to believe me. I can't find a hat. All right, maybe I'll lie.
Right? So you can go, you can sign up. go to our website. There's a bunch of details on how to do that flow. The main reward, there'll be several rewards, but the top reward, first place reward, is a flight to San Diego TwitchCon. So it's be really, so it'll be really cool. And so TwitchCon's gonna be on the 16th and 17th of July, and we're also gonna have a booth on the show floor. I'll be there, representing the creator program. We're gonna have creator program signups, so if you want to go, you can sign up on the show floor. We brought a bunch of new creator program swag that I'm really excited about for all the people in the program and anyone who signs up.
Who doesn't love swag?
Everyone loves a good piece of swag, right?
And we're
says as he has the
I know.
hat.
I literally want to swipe it.
I have that hat, guys. I have that hat.
That they made,
yeah,
so
we made just a few for ourselves like 3 years ago.
I'm eyeing it up.
I like this hat. But also, we're going to have the community managers
I do.
for New World, and our European community managers going to be there as well. So if you want to swing by, say hi, chat to us. We love talking to players. So it's going to be a good time.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
And Brittany, you're going to be going.
I'm going to be going. I'm going to be shadowing Greg. Going to be following his tail. Wherever he goes, I go.
It's going to be a long flight.
It's going to be a really long flight.
Okay.
I believe in you. So along with going to an IRL, a real who goes to real events, you're also going to be doing in-game events. You want to tell us something about
definitely.
That's nice.
We've heard your feedback. We know you really like interacting with us and the team, and so we want to do something a bit more fun, special. For those of you who were part of our End of Alpha celebration, you might remember this. We are bringing back some crazy spawns, and we're going to be having some fun shenanigans.
I didn't play the alpha.
No.
Yeah. I never did that. Like, I only played it whenever it wasn't fucking NDA.
No way.
The turkeys?
The thing that broke the server was
Big
when
dick
we tried
chicken,
to increase Scott's character's size by 200%. And
Wasn't he wearing like this green outfit as well?
He was he was wearing like a very interesting outfit.
He had to stand out from everyone else.
He did.
Of course he did.
But he definitely took down the servers. But it was great because it was a lesson learned, and now we can actually
now you do it
increase the size.
199.
Exactly. It was just
we now know the limit.
1% that really was a bummer.
At the threshold.
Yes. So that's going to be super exciting because that was such a fun event.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, definitely. We have some crazy spawns coming in. You might see some pigs. You might see some people flying around. That does not
That's
mean
cool.
you're getting flying.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
But yeah, so it'll be every Friday. We did one last Friday, July 1st. And so it'll be every Friday until this update goes live. So from 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. We're in Pacific time, right? Pacific time. Mm-hmm. Pacific time. We'll be doing those things.
And this is on the public test round?
This is on the public test round.
Okay, cool.
So
PTR for those.
PTR. Yeah, exactly.
PTR.
Feels good different.
Right. We love acronyms.
You know.
Love them.
Exactly. So hope you come join us because we're going to be having a blast.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually hopping in this time too. So
yeah. You're more
Okay, let's see it. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that's going to be.
I've heard horror stories of.
As long as we don't crash the server, I think we'll be fine.
Just of the most random things being spawned in. All right.
That's not a horror story. That's legit. That's legit. I might be able to wrangle some devs to join you too. So. TBD
That's cool. All right.
TBD.
That's nice.
Well, then, Katie, I want to touch with you on double XP, fishing, and musical instruments too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once this update goes live, we're going to spend the entirety of the event. So that's the Summer Medleyfaire. We're going to spend the entirety of the event giving folks double XP on fishing trade skill and on instruments to really reward your progress with those new and interesting things. But it's supposed to be like a fun summer event, you know?
Yeah, it comes in good timing because I know the other summer events that we're doing really tie in with music and fishing. So
Yeah, and if you have been tuning in for like any,
I mean, the Lost Ark fishing, the Lost Ark one, people didn't like that one. Yeah, they didn't like that one.
of time, really, you've probably heard me say that my favorite thing to do in New World is just grab a drink and go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really exciting when I get those epic and legendary and rare fish.
That's a big boy, yeah.
No. You got to be excited for the boot now.
You know what
We're about
I'm
the
excited
boot.
for just about everything. Yes, we are Team Boot, except tadpoles. I'm not excited for
Why?
tadpoles. You
Because
know,
they're rare.
because
They're tiny.
Yeah.
And slimy.
And for some reason, the tadpoles put up more of a fight than some of the bigger fish. And
That actually is true. I was wondering, is that supposed to be that way? Like, I don't know. That's true.
I have given that feedback to our team so many times, and they're just like, Katie, get good.
Okay. Why do clams fight back?
That's what I'm saying. Why? Is it the siphon? I think it's the siphon. That's what makes them fight back. But the real big one is the snail. Why is the snail fighting back?
This is a turnip.
You know what? That's right. You know what the
fights
answer?
back.
The answer is Azoth. It is a supernatural world that fights back. Even the snails, the clams, the tadpoles. They're
Everything fights back.
aggressive friends.
Y'all need to quit fucking making jokes, quit telling jokes, and give me a way to go out in the ocean and fish up a fucking kraken with my boys and we kill it. Quit telling jokes. I want to fish up a fucking whale. I want to spend 10,000 lumber to make a harpoon to kill a whale and then salvage it out on the ocean. Fuck them tadpoles.
All right, so you're saying
fuck them
double
tadpoles,
SP,
like,
even for those aggressive snails out there. And then you also have a fishing
Yeah, we're
event.
going to do another event. So last month, well, not last month, May.
When this video comes out, it will have been several months ago. So the time is weird on the...
Time is weird when you're filming about a
video.
What
turnip.
is time?
Yeah.
What is time? Yeah, exactly. We did a community team throwdown where we hopped in and did 3v3 arenas. Well,
Okay.
this time, we're going to be hopping on that double XP event. We're going to be fishing. So, if you're interested, we will be fishing on multiple servers. We'll have a forum post up with all the details. And if you want, just come by, chill, grab
hang out
a
with
drink,
us.
hang out with us, and we'll just go fishing.
I
That's
love
nice.
joining these community sessions because I get to find
So
out.
anyway, so basically, what they need to do is you need to be able to fucking have in your company, you need to have how Lost Ark you can contribute to research. So everybody in the company needs to be able to contribute towards building a fucking galleon ship, and it will require 50,000 lumber, 10,000 iron ingots, and a bunch of steel, and maybe after you build your fucking galleon, if you kill different NPCs out in the ocean, you would then be able to get a star metal galleon that was more had a reinforced hull, and maybe it has cannons underneath it on a second level, and you would have to make the cannons as well. And you would need to create charcoal and then put that together to create some form of explosive. And you would need saltpeter, and so you'd need to have other people that would go out and farm these resources and put them together to make cannonballs and fucking explosive machines that you can use out in the ocean. And you'd be able to capture at the beginning, you might only be able to capture something like a marlin, for example, right? Or a swordfish, make it a little bit dangerous. But then after you do that, you would be able to get a fucking shark if you have an iron ship. And if you had a star metal ship, you could go up against a whale. And not Rich Campbell, but a literal fucking Moby big dick whale. And you could salvage the whale for special blubber and other types of resources like whale bones that you could turn into unique weapons that could be used as skins. And then those skins could be sold on the auction house or actually only available to people inside of that company to make your affiliation more important. Then, after you get through with that, you would have the Ori Chalcom fucking Master Galleon Christopher Columbus Big Dick Express, and you could go up in the ocean and you could fight a fucking kraken or a giant squid that's like 300 feet long, and you would have to like kill and cut off its limbs as they would wrap it around the ship. And if enough of the limbs wrapped around the ship and you couldn't meet the DPS check, it would pull the ship underwater and you would lose all of your resources. But like, yeah, if they want to have like this thing where everybody's fishing, like, I guess that's cool too, right? I mean, shit. Yeah. That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, sure. That's fine. I don't think it really would be impossible to do. And also, you know what they should do? They should have it to where like you can float in the water for like 10 seconds, but you have to have people to get you out because like you're slowly sinking. You're a fucking conquistador. You're in full plate armor most of the time. Of course you're gonna fucking sink to the bottom of the ocean. What about swimming? You fucking die. You die out there like a man.
Exciting events we're doing.
Right?
And this is going to be on the PTR.
No, this is on the live game.
This is
live.
We're doing it live. All right. So you heard it here. Check the
Fuck it, we'll do it
for
live.
When, us devs will be on there doing a fishing event. Wow, there's a lot of, like, you better warm your fishing poles up.
I
Like,
know, that's
the
what we're
tadpole
saying.
tournament. It's
The
gotta be.
tadpole tournament.
Yes. You know what?
Ship it.
Terrible.
we were gonna do like Fishing Fest Friday, but that's more of a tongue twister.
Yeah.
I can't.
Fuck.
You gotta say that fast.
It's like, no.
Fish Fest.
Please, no.
Friday.
All right, so on that note, these are the events that we're going to be sharing with you guys
Oh my
this
God.
month. And we hope you have a great time. Anything else that you guys want to add to this?
Get your fishing poles ready.
Get your fishing poles ready. All right,
Get
thank
your
you.
musical
Thank
instruments.
you. Bye-bye.
See you in Amsterdam.
Designing summer medley
This
fair.
segment, we're going to start diving into some of the events, starting with the Summer Medleyfaire. Once again, we're really excited this month to bring in some behind the scenes, the devs that created it all.
I'm probably going to skip through a lot of this.
To get some of their thoughts and ideas on it. So Derek is joining us today, a brand new face. And then
Like, I don't really care. Like, the thing is, like, it's not really a big deal to me how they make the game.
Mike, I
let me
guess.
just
It's
see what this is.
No, Mike is back to join us and both go into their event that they've been working on. So take it away, guys.
Yeah, so I'd like to talk about the origins. So I think it's really important to set that up. So we wanted to do a summer event, and we're just thinking about, like, what do we like doing in the summer? And it was like, oh, we like going outdoors. We love going to concerts. and playing music and barbecuing and campouts and all those kinds of things. And so that's kind of where it started. And Scott might have mentioned something about Woodstock, but we're like, hey, I don't know about that. But that was kind of like our inspiration. So
I love how they just fucking, they're just making fun of Scott for being old. Yeah, old man. Yeah, right.
go to Derek. And I'm
That's
like, hey,
good.
Derek, what do you think about doing like this like big festival where you
Oh
get
my
like,
God.
lots of food and there's music and a bunch of fun stuff? And then Derek just took it away.
Yeah, I mean, so when you're kind of like starting off with the design of a holiday event from the ground up, you take these kind of key terms and key senses of feeling that you want the player to kind of feel and convey to them. So you take that mixed bag and apply the designs to it.
Apply magic to it.
Yeah, the magic to it. Make it actually be something that is coherent and exciting and fun for the player, like establish the core loop. So we take all those kind of ideas and really from the start, it's establishing the reason for the season. So what is the shift in Eternum that's occurring only during this time of year that motivates the player's actions to go do the stuff, do the things.
Okay.
So in this case, from a narrative perspective, the reason for the season is the spawning of the Eternum sturgeon, which is Mike mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Magical fish.
The magical fish,
talked
yeah.
about-
With activities around it, which is where the Medleyfaire venues itself comes into play.
Okay.
So building off the template that we have with Winter Convergence with the Winter Villages and the Yeti, we follow we establish a similar, foundational setup for the Summer Medleyfaire, which
That's
is
smart. I mean, like, you don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. Like, that's fine. You just go in there, you do your dailies, run around. That's fine.
the Medleyfaire venue.
Festival, kind of like fairground. We didn't have a chance and didn't really explore like really populating them out with like other vendors, other things that kind of like
that's what I was
made
going
it
to
a little
ask.
bit more
What
cohesive.
did we learn? Because we have mentioned to
Okay.
the community that We took the feedback. What did we learn? Already we're rolling.
What's going to change?
That was actually the main thing. Is what we took away, as Mike mentioned, just filling the village locations themselves with more thematically appropriate things to do, really, that tap into different mechanics that players can do. So in the Medleyfaire venues, we have the central dance floor, which features our new emote interaction type. So players can go up there, bust out whatever their favorite emote style is, and get a daily reward for that. Right behind that, we had the Medleyfaire Pyre, which kind of like feeds into like the celebration aspect, like the nature of Medleyfaire,
that's
where
cool.
they have this ritual or celebration,
gotta
whatever
have a
you might,
barbecue.
tradition rather.
I like that.
Where where tying
Cool.
into like the Eternum Sturgeon is you can get a magical fishbone from the sturgeon, and it's a very rare drop item. And if you're lucky enough to get one, you can toss into the Medleyfaire Pyre, get a nice big explosion, a celebration, and get a major reward for that. So, and kind of behind that is also the Mount a Catch station, which I'm super excited to get that one in and work with the team to figure out just how we can even pull that off. So the Mount a Catch station is really cool because you can basically go out in the world, catch any of the fish, any of the bugs came into play. So it actually was a perfect alignment of, perfect alignment between teams where at the same time the musical instrument strike team was working on their feature. So we know that music needs to be at and
Test those out on the dance floor.
yeah.
Absolutely.
All
I was
kind of ties in together.
Trying to do a little dance earlier, and it didn't really work.
Yeah.
So, I got to practice that. So, all right. Well, I know a few things were asked on the forums recently that I saw is players are excited to know more of like what it was your absolute favorite, or do you have any Easter eggs that you're hiding in this event itself?
But, do what you
right? Gotta do. Yeah. All right.
That's kind of like the.
So keep an eye on all the lighting too. See what you guys did.
I think that's
all
good
those little
fun thing.
details.
It's just fun to run around, and I've even seen some early videos of like the PTR, someone just running around, just like taking a look and just having a blast, just looking at all the different creative ways to.
The visuals are good.
That the art team was able to sell this Medleyfaire in a tournament.
The visuals in the game are great.
So, I
Right.
thought that
You
was
guys
really
always
rewarding.
do the art. Everyone enjoyed that, and let's move on to the next event.
Okay. It's not that I don't really care. It's that I just, I know what the event's going to be. You go around, you fish, and you click on the things, and you do it every day, and you get the stuff from the vendor. Okay, got it. All right, that's cool.
And the next event, but more so the next not dungeon, but the
Expedition.
Thank you. Expedition that we're going to dive into is the brand new one of
here we go.
Barnacles and Black Powder, right?
Correct.
Okay, because I feel like, say that 5 times fast. Blah, blah. All right, and joining us today, Mike is back. Yay! And then Chad. Chad had a hand in the dungeon, not dungeon.
AI lead designer. Can you make it to where they don't fucking despawn? Or they don't just randomly die whenever you fight them? That's the thing, yeah.
Expedition.
Someone else is buying me lunch today.
$1. All right, so let's get right into it. I'm really excited to learn a bit more because you had kind of teased that there's a lot more things that the monsters and the boss is doing. It's not just a very straightforward fight anymore. So if you want to go into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got 2 new boss fights in this expedition. We've got Admiral Black Powder as well as the Nereid at the end. So the Admiral fight is particularly fun. He's throwing appropriately themed explosive kegs of black powder.
See, that's fine. That's a cool looking boss. So it's obviously a reskinned version of the ones that they have in Reekwater. The guy that breaks down the barricade whenever you shoot the collar. Right, it is the brute. Yeah, it's just a brute reskin. But I don't think this is a bad thing. I think a reskin is not a problem if it looks really cool and it behaves differently. This is a good reskin. He looks cool.
appropriately themed explosive kegs of black powder around, which will explode on the players.
I was going to say, I guess I shouldn't catch them, right? It's
Absolutely
like hot potato.
not. It's very dangerous. And then he also has a really great mechanic where he's dangerous on the players.
I was going to say, I guess I shouldn't catch them, right? It's like
I thought it the acceleration is a bit odd. Yeah, I don't know, like, it was so sudden. Yeah. HP bar under him, that's fine, it doesn't matter.
right? It's
Absolutely.
like hot potato.
Around,
like watch.
which will explode on the players.
I was going to say, I guess I shouldn't catch them, right? It's
Absolutely
like hot potato.
not. It's very dangerous. And then he also has a really great mechanic where he jumps up into the rafters and calls down cannon fire on the player. So there's a lot of things to dodge and avoid and kind of counterplay back and forth.
That's cool.
And there's also a really interesting mechanic interacting with cannons for the players themselves, where they can fire back at the Admiral.
I like that. Okay.
And send some of the shot back at him.
Give him a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of those, like, kind of, I guess they're old school now, but like the 3D platformers where you'd have to go like pick something up, load something up, and then shoot it at the big bad, and then it's a unique version of patterns that we have in this fight that it's really fun. So there's a lot of elements of just dodging out of danger and then using other mechanics that we have in the game to make this really compelling loop. So I think players are going to have a lot of fun. And we've seen that in the PTR.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very frenetic, little chaotic fight, but a lot of fun, lots of explosions, a lot of action going on.
Okay. Was any of it your favorite part, making any of it, or did you know, any characters that you enjoyed
fight
the
looks
most
good.
with?
Yeah, absolutely.
The fights are not that bad. Yeah, they're not that bad. Like I think the Isabella fight, what I don't like about the Isabella fight is the fundamental of, in order to play at ranged, you have to be aiming at the boss, and if you're looking directly at something, you nerf your depth perception massively. So like if you're trying to avoid like the little spins that she does or her dive bombs, it's really hard to do that because you can't see exactly how she's coming from, right? But I really liked the other boss, the Nahoon or whatever the fuck his name was. The one before her, the snake boy. Yeah, Nestaton. Yeah, whatever the fuck. Like he was cool. Like the only thing I didn't like is the last transition phase is like, it's like ridiculously fucking hard, and like if you fuck it up, you have a dot on you for like the whole run or some shit. So like that might be a little bit too hard, but everything else I think is good.
We did add a couple of new features on this one. In particular, the boss himself will be able to jump up into the raft.
Someone says range can always have the advantage. Most people play melee, and on top of that, like I think that ranged, like all I would want to do is to be able to move my crosshair up. So like I can move my crosshair up so I can aim at a better angle and still hit a target. That's all I want.
Which is entirely new for our boss mechanics here. And then also interacting with the cannons, actually picking up cannonballs, hauling them over to the cannons to load them up and then fire them back.
All new mechanics.
Yep.
All right. Have you taken any previous feedback of other dungeons or events that you guys are bringing into this one?
Yeah, I mean, we always try to incorporate feedback back into our boss designs. With these ones in particular, we're definitely making sure there are mechanics to address a variety of different play styles, as well as keep everybody involved in the fight. This is a pretty challenging set of fights. There's a lot of damage flying around. There's a lot of positional challenges as well. Not quite as challenging as maybe the Corrupted Naga, but we'll still throw some good curveballs at the player.
I think he's talking about that boss.
Bit debatable. But what's awesome is, so you have black powder, and this theme of the cursed treasure, and as you're going down through everything, and there's a whole bunch of new hazards. And when I say cursed treasure, I legitimately mean it's cursed, and bad things will happen when you try to touch it or get near it. So a bunch of fun mechanics kind of surrounding that, kind of like the Goonies vibe and Pirates of the Caribbean kind of vibe. But there's...
I just hope that, like, these bosses that they do, they realize that, like, nobody wants to go through, like, a bunch of waves of trash. Like, people want to fight the bosses, and they want to fight, like, interesting events. So, like, a good example of, like, a trash mechanic was, like, you know, like, whenever you enter, like, the second half of, like, Tempest Heart, and you have, like, that staff that you have to hold on to and, like, shoot the cannon at the monster with, like, the eyes. Like, that was really cool. And so, like, that's what the way that they should look at it, rather than trying to just, like, add in four mobs and then 4 more mobs.
Something that lurks even further into the depths of the expedition, and that's kind of one of my favorite things, is the reveal of the Nereid. Is like you see this like water spout, this like cyclone of water is like you're approaching, and you get to fight this all new creature. And I think it has really awesome mechanics if you want to dive into those.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Mike was saying, at the ultimate fight at the end of the expedition is with the Nereid, and she's this water creature who can control the water and storm around her. Really fantastic reveal, and she also calls in tornadoes to whirl around in the arena with her. Provide lots of hazards for the player, as well as throwing out quite a few projectiles and dangers, a little bit of bullet hell action.
Yes, lots of dodging is necessary.
Absolutely. So it's a real fun fight as well.
Okay, so a lot of different mechanics once again to learn and to practice with your friends and laugh as they make mistakes, as you do. So
absolutely.
And then of course for our more advanced players that have gone beyond the standard level 60 end game expeditions, we have additional mutations that are in the rotation. So we're introducing three new mutations with Icebound, which has to do with ice elemental damage and absorption.
Would have never guessed.
Oppression, which has to do with silences and mana loss.
Okay.
So which is pretty awesome. And then Frenzied, which is
awesome.
it's awesome. And then Frenzied, which is a curse that has to do with damage over time and stacks being applied to players as they dodge.
Okay.
So.
And will this be included?
Interesting strategies.
Will this expedition be included in all the mutations too, like that?
Yes, it will. So after initial release and everyone's gotten their, couple weeks of reps going through this one, then there'll be the mutated version will enter the overall rotation, the global rotation for expedition mutations. Okay,
keeping things fresh. All right, is there any sort of lore that you guys maybe wanted to touch on with this specific event, just in general, or?
Well, this one is more isolated as a side story down in Cutlass Keys about strange things happening in the waters off the shoreline, strange creatures, and then this kind of like curse that is occurring, and then the Admiral as he's going about and stealing this lost plunder.
Okay, great.
You discover things are a lot worse than the Admiral himself as he dived deeper into the expedition.
All right, so it's not a nice little contained event going on.
That's interesting, sure.
All right, well, anything else that you guys want to add with this one?
I'm just super excited to get it out to players and get their feedback, and hopefully everybody has fun with it.
Lots of cool new loot.
Yeah, we love loot. All right, thank you, and thanks gamers for watching. Let's dive into the next one.
Okay, here we go. Combat weapon balance. All right, what are they gonna do?
And we're going to touch on a topic that everybody keeps talking about constantly. We hear you. Balance, balance, balance. So I brought the Daves in, Double Trouble, Dave and Dave. They're going to go on about a few things that we're working on with balance, especially when it comes to weapons. I know there's a lot of concern. We want to reassure everybody that when any changes are made, it's not a permanent change. The game is constantly adapting. We're learning. The feedback is very important. So we're just going to touch on some of the weapons that I saw were super active on the forums. Let's start it right out with everyone's favorite, the bow. Yes, the bow. Dave, you want to take...
People say everybody's favorite. Nobody fucking uses the bow. Who the fuck uses the bow? Like, what do you mean? Like, everybody's favorite? That's the hatchet. Yeah, everybody uses the fucking hatchet.
Sure, yeah. So the
70%
bow, we've
use
made a
bow
lot
now?
of
Really?
updates to the bow in the past few updates. And I think we worked really hard at making it more fluid, easier to play, and just for people to have a good time with it. While doing that, we might have gone a little too far. And I think we're going to rein in some of the damage a little bit. It's doing a little bit too much burst damage. It's a little too powerful in some modes, not in all modes though.
Right, you were saying in PvP it's actually not the greatest right now, right? Or in arenas?
Well, yeah, in OPR it's performing really well, but in arenas it's actually the third worst weapon.
Okay.
And in PvE it also isn't super strong. Right? So it's really hard when we're talking about balance. We've got to think about the whole game, not one specific mode.
And this is the same problem that like WoW devs have, is that like they're trying to balance one item for like 5 different types of gameplay. It's like, how the fuck do you balance a trinket for like arena, for raiding, for Mythic Plus, and for like just outdoor content? Like, how the fuck do you do that?
We want weapons to each have at least 1 or 2 areas they shine, but every weapon can't be the best at everything, you know. So it's a tough balance that we're trying to strive here.
Right, and I
It's
know
a rotation.
In the beginning, like there were issues with the Void Gauntlet, there were issues with the life staff. So you know, I think we're constantly working on that, and the bow is just being a little pickier with needing that adjustment. So, anything else that you want to touch on with the bow?
No, I think we're gonna make some more adjustments. It's in PTR right now, so please play and give feedback. And we're still making a couple more adjustments as we're getting close to the July date. So.
Okay, great. So the next that we wanted to talk on was the Sword and Shield. Dave, would you like to take that one?
Yeah, I think, you know, Sword and Shield had a combo with the Shield Bash stun that was really going 0 to 100. And that's a type of gameplay that we don't want to really foster in New World. So that is something that if you play PTR, we've reduced the amount of stun Leaping Strike has to sort of not allow people to do that 0 to 100 combo. And we're going to be on the lookout for those.
That's a good thing. Nobody wants to get stunned and just die. Yeah, nobody wants to get stunned and just fucking die. It's like, yeah, obviously, like, it's fun to do that, but it sucks.
If you are aware of those, if you see things like that, let us know. That's something that we don't really want to be a part of the New World combat experience.
Okay,
yeah, I think that's a good thing.
And then also the hatchet. I know you were talking about the hatchet.
Oh boy,
too.
all right. I swear to God, they better not nerf my shit. I swear to God, if they nerf my shit, please.
What is going on with that?
Yeah, so we looked at how people are using the hatchet, and unfortunately, the right side tree, the throw tree, is not being used that often. We think it's a really fun tree, so we went through and did a pretty major overhaul on it. So it's got a lot of new bonuses and buffs and damages.
That's fine. Cool.
Things of that nature. So definitely be on the lookout. Again, try it out in PTR.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It should be much more playable now.
Okay.
Okay, that's great to hear. And you guys keep hearing
Thank
it,
God.
you know, over
Bro,
and over.
I was so
Go on
nervous.
the PTR. That's why it's there, the public test realm. We want to hear that feedback. Go and experience these changes. Give us your thoughts, because you guys do take the feedback very seriously and are willing to keep making those adjustments to find that balance. I guess my last question being the future. What's the future for the weapons, the balance team? What's going on with that?
Well, they're just going to keep rotating shit around, right? Like, you're going to make one thing good for a while, then make something else good.
I'll start out. One of the things that we're definitely looking at is equip load and what is strong and what isn't strong. We definitely feel that the light equip load is very strong right now, and heavy in particular is weak. It doesn't have a really good role, especially in PvP. In PvE, I think the extra sort of toughness it gives has enough weight, but I think in PvP, just that lack of mobility you're getting is really, I think hurting the heavy equip load. So we're doing tests internally, trying some pretty interesting stuff that we're excited to talk about. It's not ready for this PTR. Hopefully we can put it in next PTR. This might be more of an experimental change. We're going to be free to do that in PTR now, where we're going to, sometimes try some things that aren't necessarily going to go into the game. But we're definitely looking. That's one area we're looking at.
Okay, great. Anything else?
Yeah, another area is blocking. Really, like blocking in PvP is not a good option at the moment. Really, it's the dodge is definitely the meta.
And so we really want to take another look at blocking PvP and how can we adjust it to make it more worthwhile for all weapons, not just the shield too. So
that makes sense.
We're taking a really close look at that, and that'll definitely make PTR here pretty soon.
Yeah,
right.
That makes sense.
Well, great. Thank you so much, guys. And once again, we look forward to all that feedback. Go and try the weapons. Let us know. We want to fix them. All right. Thank you so much. And that's a wrap. We've gone over quite a few things, and I hope you guys really enjoyed behind the scenes. Scott, what do you think about it all?
I'm excited about so much on this release. The music instruments, the summer Medleyfaire. I've had a blast playing Barnacles and Black Powder. Like just being able to connect with people through the group finder.
That's a good thing.
Overall, I think the perk rebalance and the perfect salvage are going to change the way the game is played, and I'm really excited for those as well. It's an exciting release, and I hope we see you all out.
I don't know why they use, like, they should use the other camera angle. Like, he's literally looking at the other camera.
All right. Thanks so much, Scott. And thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you next time.
All right. That was pretty good. I mean, yeah, that was all right.